We have got to go there to the front to tell you. You see there behind the mountain?
Yes.
About a third part from here to the mountain.
Yes.
The ship was moving from the left side to the right side. And right side, left side, right side, always on that way.
Yes.
And then at later time, before it left, by sunset, it moves behind there the tree. You have seen the picture, and there I got 3 pictures by my photo camera.
So how many hours altogether from the beginning?
Altogether, I've been here up for about 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
How many pictures did you take?
Between 70, 90, 100, I don't know exactly. Most of them I lost somewhere, stolen, I don't know.
So this is the site where you took the picture of the UFO. And actually, how did it come? Did it fly?
Yeah, at first I took the film, the movie, and then it was flying always that line, forward and back, forward and back. And then at the end, when was going down the sun, also by the sunset, it moves here behind, few meters behind the tree, and then I got here 3 pictures. And the sun was somewhere there behind over the horizon.
And how many minutes it stayed here?
Oh, this was maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds, not more. And in that time I got these 3 pictures. It was maybe, I don't know exactly, maybe 5 meters behind, 3 meters behind, I don't know.
And when was it, this one?
That was 1976, I think.
76?
Yeah.
Should be autumn.
Yeah, it's outgoing winter time.
Right.
About 3 to 5 meters here
Somewhere
behind
here,
the tree.
yes.
Yeah, somewhere here up.
Oh. And nothing behind the tree.
There is nothing behind the tree. A deep valley, that's all.
Right. But this ship is very huge, maybe 7 meter. 7 meter across. Yeah.
There you can see how big are the trucks.
Very big. So it was almost 7 meter diameter.
No, the landing trucks, they have 182 centimeter each one. And 3 of them are by each ship. And that's a place where I got the first movie picture. There was a tree staying, how you see it there, where it's hanging over them, the ship. And that tree was eliminated later by Semyasi too. And that picture I got, I think, February or March 1975 in the evening time, about 5:30. It was snowing, raining, and dusty, and in the front between the tree and my film camera there was some people working, a farmer, an old man and a child. And if you have good eyes, you can see the ship. It isn't in the front of the tree. It is a little bit behind the tree.
Yes.
And this flying doesn't the normal flying of these ships. That's for demonstration only. If they fly on the real normal way, you have seen there how I was moving the tree now. If they fly on the normal way, they have a good line without this foolish jumping and everything.
I see. Would you repeat it again? あの部分だけは
これじゃないね。
いや、これだよ。動いたでしょ。
もっと動いた気がしたから。
だからね、あの部分だけを独立して使うことを考えるから、
これだとしとこう。
引いてるところから少しずつ詰まった方がいいんじゃない？あの前をね。どこやったかな。
急にしてみますか。まだだね。やっぱり乾杯して
広げといてね。
これで。
まだだよ。When do you know when? いやもうそろそろやりますか。
Now I think.
はい。
Just a moment. You see?
Yes. 見えた？今さん。
Because it comes to the front, overflies the tree and then it jumps.
Right.
もう一度寄っとくからね。もう一回やってくれる。
もう一回？
もっと先だけ寄っとくよ。
Again?
先だけ寄っとくよ。
次かな。
Now it's going on. You see?
Oh,
Right there.
そうだ。OK。いいよ、今ので。二段ズームでやっとけ。
いや、今じゃあ、引いてますか？あんまりわかんないよ。
That's a satellite, you know, but it was today to get the picture there.
Oh, yes.
今日のやつでしょ。
When was this?
That was at the same month,
わかんないよな。
1975, December, June or
あ
July.
れがそう。ヨーロッパ。
寄ろうか、いっぺん。いっ
わかんない。
ぺんやってください。
これはそうでしょ。だからこれまで広げるよね。
それでわかりました。
わかった？まだプロアピ入れてるからね。見える？
I think today I was walking too high up.
これでわかりました。
Yes.
There I told her in telepathic way to move a little bit.
This 1975
Yeah, to 1975.
of what month?
June or July.
June or July? Yes.
ね。
But it is very small. It's very far from here.
Yeah, it is. It's far behind.
Yes. You got this
Why, I
electric
don't
shock.
know. That's the east side where we got yesterday the pictures.
Oh,
There behind in the middle, you see, in the saddle, the mountain where we was this afternoon,
what is
where we was climbing up the road.
the month? Month?
The mountain there behind where we was climbing up today by the cars.
I see. What month?
Langenberg, I think, is the name or something like that. Where we got today the pictures, you know.
1975?
1972, yeah. No, 1976 on March 28th or 29th of March.
So this is the first film which we could take. You could take 3 of the crafts. 3
Yeah,
crafts.
yeah.
そんな気しない？
なんすか？
気がしますね。
なんすか？フォーカス？
いやいや、これ1個寄ろうか。
I think where leave the other 2 ships there, the film is cut, I think.
そうだ、これ京都とかの面白いです。It's buffering.
You know, the wind there. And that wind is there of the whole year so strong.
やった方がいいかな、1回。動きあったっけ、これ。
わかんないんだよね。覚えてないのこれ。
これ記憶ないんだな。
動き出した。
戻ってるの。記憶なくなっちゃった。
Is he coming back again?
Yeah, several times. She turns from the left to the right and back.
これにやるかな。
ちょっと揺れてるところやろうかな。ふらふらふらふらって。
You see, there's still wind on the range.
いなくなっちゃう。光った今。モニターで見えた？
When I left the place there, I was frozen outside and inside.
Yeah, it should be.
It's always very cold there, during the summertime.
I see. But this is winter.
Yeah, that's
光った。
winter.
光ったところ寄ろうかな後で。もう一回リピートして。
これはあれだけだな、物だけだな。これをこっち来たりする。
これこっち来たりするんですか？
That's my bad Zoom working.
This is bad Zoom. I see.
If you try something to do boots, you know, don't have to do such foolish things.
How can I adjust the frame?
見えたでしょ。いや、やらない方がいいですね。
Yes. You see what? It's okay. うわー、すごいねこれね。光が光るの。これズームしてるんだって彼が。非常に下手なズームで申し訳ないけど。下の山見えてますか？
これ、これはみんなこれ見えないね。
And too, with the camera, I was jumping because I was frozen and make like that. The train. It's my working camera.
今下の山見えてますか？
今のは新品です。
あ、ここでまた山が綺麗。
You see here I have done exactly the same thing than in Rumlikan. I was looking over the camera and working with the zoom.
Ah. So you didn't see the window?
No.
No.
There always I was thinking to get the warm coffee.
Okay. Do you repeat it, please?
No, for the whole time the ship was staying always on the same place. It wasn't moving.
Yes.
If the ship were suspended by a string attached to a pole, a different form of movement would be seen. The beam ship can be seen to stop in midair, without any form of hesitation and no wind-related movements. If the object were a model suspended in some manner, it would react much differently in a strong gusty wind. This ship stops and does not waver. When the beam ship begins to move, it sails smoothly without any hesitation. This indicates that there is no physical obstruction of any kind. During a replay of the footage, a forward and backward movement will be observed as the craft stops, if it was suspended by something. For convenience sake, lines will be drawn where the ship stops and where it begins moving, affording the observation of any unusual wobbling or swaying. It is obvious that the beam ship stops abruptly. Zooming in on the beam ship, one can see a light, possibly some type of energy, as it begins to move. The understanding of what this is, or could be, is limited. Only theories exist. From the analysis of this footage, we know that there is a gusty wind, yet in contrast, the beam ship remains stable. At this time, Meier was using the zoom lens on the 8mm camera. A difficult feat for a man with one arm, and the reason for the lack of centering in the viewfinder. At times, the spacecraft emits a burst of light from the top of the cupola and the flange or rim of the circular object. While filming this segment, Meier recorded the sounds of the beam ship, as indicated by the Japanese subtitles.
この時、マイヤー氏が撮った UFO の音を聞くと、
Watching the footage and listening to the recorded sounds, one can readily determine that when the craft moves closer to the recorder, the strength of the noise increases, thus indicating the strong vibrational frequencies emitted by the ship. On March 29, 1976, Meier took this outstanding series of photographs of 3 beam ships hovering over a wide valley near Bachtel-Hornli. It is an extreme rarity to capture 3 UFOs in the same photograph, especially with the clarity of these. But to Meier, this remarkable photography had become commonplace. The video crew hiked to the site where an old farmhouse stood near the edge of a steep mountain cliff. This is the location where Mr. Meier filmed both still photographs and 8mm motion pictures.
No.
Meier remembers that when he first arrived at the site, he was nervous, excited, and wanted to begin the experience immediately. Then, without warning, the beam ships arrived. As in previous segments, the ship is not affected by the strong wind currents. He also noted that they repeated the same stable movements exhibited in the past. In the lower part of the screen, automobiles can be seen traveling on this major thoroughfare. Meier captured the same scene with one addition: a UFO hovering overhead. This amazing footage captures known objects, cars, and an unknown object, the beam ship, on the same frame. Here, the Japanese utilized the freeze frame technique in order to determine the size relationship of the beam ship to the car. This 1979 NTV footage shows the site where Meier shot his 1975 sequence of the beam ship hovering near a farmhouse. As this footage dissolves to Meier's original film, note the beam ship beginning an aerial display above a large tree which once stood near the farmhouse. Meier recalls that he was guided telepathically to the location and that the weather was bad. Snow and rain fell throughout the day. Once again, the erratic movement of the craft gives the appearance of an object suspended by a string or wire. Close examination of the film clearly shows the craft circling behind the large tree. When the size of the beam ship is compared to that of the tree and the house, it becomes obvious that due to its size, it would be impossible to suspend with strings or wire. In addition, the top of the enormous tree can be seen to move as the craft passes over it. This movement can be attributed to the backwash of air created by the ship. Watch again. Once more, the branches can be seen to sway from the force of the beam ship. Mysteriously, within 3 hours after the filming, Meier noted that the tree began to die. Inside of 3 months, the tree was gone, leading to the conclusion that perhaps the electromagnetic radiation or energy contained some harmful elements that might have killed the tree.
Jumping in the space? One of the most intriguing activities we found are two jumps the UFO conducted while passing above the tree. They happened when the UFO was dancing back and forth, close to the tree. The jumps looks like an imperfection in the film roll. But when we check them in detail, frame by frame in a movie, we find surprising results. It looks like the UFO produced an electromagnetic pulse that affected the camera. There are frames that are burned at the top, at the precise moment the UFO did the jumps. The pulse might generated an internal spark in the camera that imprinted this long white strip in the film. Billy reported in the movie, Contact, from the Pleiades, that he felt an electric shock every time these beam ships jumped in the space.
By jumping, Meier means the ship disappears and reappears.
Each time I got electrical hit when the ship was jumping. And at later time they told me there shall be a very strong power field, electrical power field, and from that out I always got the electrical hit.
By electrical hit, Meier means an electric shock.
We may see here in slow motion the two jumps. The first jump happened when the UFO went backwards. And the second jump happened 13 seconds later, when the UFO was moving towards the camera. Looking frame by frame, we noticed the image of the UFO is at the same time in two places. Like it is dematerializing in one location in the space, and, at the same time, materializing in another location ahead. This simulation shows how we found the jump works by analyzing Billy video. The UFO gradually disappears and becomes translucent. And at the same time, it appears in another location in the space. We invite you to read in more detail the investigation conducted and the results.
We know if they flies on. We know if they flies on. We know if they flies on. We know if they flies on.
ところから少しずつ詰まった方がいいんじゃない。ところから少しずつ詰まった方がいいんじゃない。